everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Your time is precious, so thank you so much for spending it with me. Before we get started, deep breath in, deep breath out, because moments matter most and you matter most. Today, we're going to be talking about finding your voice. Through this journey of self-love, it is incredibly beautiful, it's incredibly rewarding, but also it can be taxing because you are going to have to communicate to people who don't understand or who haven't been around you or who are not aware that you now have new terms and conditions, honey. You have updated, child. You got to be able to communicate your terms and conditions. So we have to learn how to find our voice. And if this is your first time watching my video, I look down because I write stuff. I don't remember stuff that great, so my journal is here to help. Thanks for being with me. Pray. So the first step in finding your voice is you have to pray. So pray for guidance in speaking with people. Everyone is going through something, and don't be hateful. So the first time that somebody disrespects you, or the first time that somebody says something that you don't like, or inappropriate, whatever, pray for guidance for what to say to that person. Because when you're on a journey of self-love, if you express it to people or not, people are going to know that you're going through something, and whatever it is that they see, you want it to reflect love, because you're literally doing self-love. So you want it to reflect love. Pray for God to lead you in a voice of love, in a voice of understanding. Don't be hateful towards people. The second, build a list of things that you will not accept. I'm going to make a video more in detail of what I put on my list and what I think would be very helpful for you to put on your list. Third, find loving ways to introduce people to your new normal. Saying no is hard for some people, and so instead of saying no, you can just, sorry, I thought I heard something. Saying no is hard for some people, and so there are different ways to say no. Here's an example. I know in the past I allowed you to have sex with me, but without engaging in a talk about sexual health, that is no longer an option going forward. So it's not a no. But you are being completely clear. You're acknowledging this is something that we did in the past, and so I understand how you could have that viewpoint right now. However, this ain't gonna work. So it's acknowledging what happened in the past, creating guidelines for going forward. Here's another example. I understand that in the past, we used to engage in gossip. That no longer serves who I'm becoming. And so, instead of telling the person that you're speaking with to shut up, that no longer serves who I'm becoming. And they kind of looking like, but you didn't talk to them crazy. You didn't say anything to them crazy. And if they continue to do that, now they've been informed. So that's their choice. They want to continue to gossip, you ain't got to talk to them. And they know why. They know exactly why. They don't have to assume. They don't have to wonder. You are very clear that that no longer serves you anymore. Or you could just tell people no. That's the third thing. You could just say no. I don't do that anymore. You either rock with it or you don't. But that's the blunt version. I like the other two better because it communicates better. You acknowledge what used to happen and you're affirming what's going to happen now if they want to continue to speak to you. You have to realize that you are your biggest advocate. If not you, who? If you're not going to stand up for yourself, if you're not going to put boundaries in place, if you're not going to have hard and soft nose, we'll talk about that in a later video. If you're not going to do those things, who is? There is not this like a boundary fairy that when somebody crosses your boundaries, they just walk around and boopity boop and they stop the other person from crossing your boundary. That's not a thing. You have to learn to speak up. It's going to be hard. It's going to be uncomfortable. You're not going to like it. You're going to lose some people, but the people that you're going to lose are not supposed to occupy your space anyway. The people you're supposed to be with are going to respect your boundaries. That's just point blank period. And if they don't, like, you have to figure out whose boundaries are more important, theirs or yours. That's a personal choice. When someone projects negative or low vibration words in circumstances, you tell them, you can have that back. I've done this to people before, and they were flabbergasted. They were like, they really were like so confused because they were giving me like all this negative talk about who I was and what it was that I was doing. And I said, oh, you can have that back. And they said, what? I said, yeah, you can have that back. That's not mine. You're projecting your thoughts about me onto me, and I'm good. We good over here. You can have that back. Tell people when they come at you, Christ, you can have that back. That's not mine. That's for you. And those are some things that you have to work out. I'm refusing to accept it. If you want to shake some people, tell them you can have that back. I promise you. It is one of the best things ever. So not only are you setting a boundary, you're letting them know, I'm not about to take this from you. You can have that back. And you get to point out to them that they just gave you something. Like some people may not even be cognizant that they were putting their insecurities, their opinions, their thoughts on you. And when you say you can have that back, in that moment you're letting them know, you really just gave me some BS. I don't want it. And now they have to deal with it. It's not yours. You don't have to take stuff from people that you don't want. When you find your voice, you reclaim your power. You realize that you don't have to walk around making everybody happy, or you can't make other people happy. You don't walk around trying to please people for the sake of pleasing people so they'll like you. No. You get to say what comes and what goes in your life. You have control of that and no one else. And my last point, that was my last point. I really, really, really want to encourage you all to use the you can have that back and the 2 guided statements of how to say no without saying no. My challenge, but my super duper challenge, is to next time somebody gives you some negative, super terrible opinion, thought about who you are and what you did in your past, tell them you can have that back. And write down in the comment section below how it goes. Because honestly, when I did it, it was one of the greatest things I ever did. It felt incredibly liberating. And I knew in that moment I had found my voice. And that's such an empowering feeling that I would love to give to you guys. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope y'all go in peace and love.